plan, so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid, only make moves when your heart's in it, and live the free sky's the limit. Never been as broke as me. I like that. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves. Besides that, the pinstripes and the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. While niggas flirt, I'm throwing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? I see you later. Here come the drama. Oh, that's that nigga with the fake. Wow, why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place, play your position. Here come my intuition. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watch it, and hoes clock it. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be next. Look at they man, big man, they never try, so we roll with them. I stole with them, I mean loyalty. Niggas bought me milks at lunch, the milks with chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch, 88. Long as I got stuff for most of them soft. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches ain't my homegirls now. Start stacking, dabbled in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina, made the scenes, took my Ninas. From gym class to in-glass, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in waist and taste. Ain't no telling where this felon is heading. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your melon. Clear the space. Your brain was a terrible thing to waste. Realizing to master enterprise, and I ain't have to be in school by 10. I then began to encounter with my counterparts on how to burn the block apart. Break it down into sections. Drugs by these selections. Some use pipes, others use injections. Syringe sold separately. Frank the deputy, quick to grab my Smith & Wesson like my dick was missing. To protect my position, my corner, my layer. While we out here, say the hustler's prayer. If the game shakes me or breaks me, I hope it makes me a better man. Take a better stand. Put money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan, so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid. Only make moves when your heart's in it, and live the phrase, sky's the limit. Motherfucker. 88. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves. Besides that, the pinstripes and the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. While niggas flirt, I'm throwing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? I see you later. Here come the drama. Oh, that's that nigga with the fake. Wow, why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place, play your position. Here come my intuition. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watch it. That hoes clock it. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be next. Look at they man, big man, they never try, so we roll with them. I stole with them. I mean loyalty. Niggas bought me milks at lunch. The milks with chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch, 80 long as I got stuff for most of them soft. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches ain't my homegirls now. Start stacking, dabbled in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina, made the scenes, took my Ninas. From gym class to English, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in waist and taste. Ain't no telling where this felon is heading. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your melon. Clear the space. Your brain was a terrible thing to waste. Realizing to master enterprise and I ain't have to be in school by 10. I then began to encounter with my counterparts on how to burn the block apart. Break it down into sections. Drugs by these selections. Some use pipes.
Goddamn.
Man. Goddamn is right. Goddamn is right, man. What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another edition of Notorious Unscripted on your July 15th edition of Notorious Unscripted, man. This is the 204th episode, man, on this thundery tornado storm of a night here in the great state of Illinois, man. So definitely interesting. I have some pretty cool experiences of the thunderstorm actually mixing well with my Monday Night Raw pretty well tonight. We'll get to that. It's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. Crazy timing. But anyways, we got a very. Honestly, bro, last week we brought to you guys 3, because we talked a bit about SmackDown. We brought to you guys just overall reviews on 2 great shows. And here, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. AEW did it again. They did it again, man. They have created another amazing episode of Dynamite on the way to All In Wembley. So they did it again, man, and I got to give it to them, man. Now, obviously, there's a ton of talking points for each show, man, but overall, I thought AEW last week was a very good episode, and this week shapes up to be a pretty good episode in itself, man. So that is the episode of Dynamite we get in 2 days. So hopefully, man, it's going to be another 3-week run for AEW where it's 3 weeks in a row of great television, man. So I hope we can get back on track, and I'm very happy they've been on the right track on the way to All In, because I'll tell you, just based off these past 2 weeks, this is already shaping up to be a better and just more all-in worthy card than whatever the fuck All-In Wembley was last year. As you guys know, I notoriously, pun intended, hated that fucking show because they did the exact opposite of what they should have done and what All-In is meant to be. and what the grounds of All In were built on, in my honest opinion. So, but yeah, I thought this was a good week. And again, just based off these 2 weeks, I could tell you now the build is already better than last year, and the card is shaping up to be better than last year as well. Oh, are you?
Are we back? Am I back?
Oh, yeah. I don't think you're ever
No.
gone. It might have
Okay.
just been delayed on your side.
Okay, it was super delayed, so
Yeah,
I guess you just cut off me completely. But
I'm dead.
yeah, man. We Dynamite's been good lately. It's been weird, and it's been intriguing, man. And I'm intrigued for this week too, man. I want to see if they can keep it up.
No question. No question, bro. So, without any further ado, man, what is going on, everybody? We are back with yet again another edition of the Notorious podcast, man. Another edition of Unscripted, man. This is episode 204 of Unscripted, man. And if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know how the show works, every Monday we're on here with Notorious Unscripted, and every Friday at 4 p.m. Central we're on here with the news, man. If you guys have not got a chance to get a listen to last Friday's edition of the news, that is episode 222. Stephanie Vaquer to the WWE contemplating women's mid-card championships. WWE announces Bad Blood. Samoa Joe written off AEW television. All that good stuff, man. That is available for you guys on all platforms. That's Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And if you want to see it first, join us right here live every Friday at 4 p.m. Central with the news, man. So, actually, I want to thank you guys for a very, very great turnout in terms of the viewership on last Friday's episode of the news. Definitely shocked me. Definitely shocked me when I looked at it a couple days after the fact. So I want to appreciate it, and I want to appreciate everybody. All the new subscribers. We gained quite a couple new subscribers from that episode, man. And yeah, I just want to send out a big thank you to you guys, and welcome to the family, man, if you guys are newly subbed. So yeah, I definitely appreciate it, man. I appreciate that episode. I thought it was a great episode, man. And yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed what you watched, bro. So I appreciate it. And yeah, it was a great episode, man. It was a great episode. So yes, that's available for you guys on all platforms. And if you want to see it first, join us right here, 4 p.m. Central, live every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, bro. So with that, man, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know, or if you guys have not, rather, got the chance to pick up some of the official Notorious Heels podcast merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is in the top description of this very video, where you can get all 8 of these beautiful, beautiful designs available for you guys. You can get all 8 of these designs you see on your screen and more available on the merch shop. Again, that is bonfire.com. Link is in the top description of this very video, man. Also, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man, Sir K here. How the hell are you, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just been chilling, been thinking. You know me,
Whoa.
man. You know me. But I've been good. I've been good. Had a good weekend. And back to the restart of the week, man. Do love Mondays. We're unscripted, man. I would love it for off. I got, to see it live, but that's for that's for maybe soon, hopefully soon. But I've been doing good, man. I've been doing good. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How's everyone doing in the live chat? And how's everyone doing in the replay? And what about you, bro? How are you doing?
Doing all right, bro. Doing all right, man. Just yeah, doing all right, bro. Just getting you know, I guess just trying to get everything situated, man. Just trying to get everything situated that we got going on around us at the moment. So, yeah, just all that stuff, and then just got SummerSlam coming up, man, and that's gonna be an exciting week and weekend. If everything goes to plan, that's gonna be a very exciting weekend. So I'm very pumped for that, and yeah, bro. So, yeah, but that's pretty much all I got going on, man. But as my man Durante has asked, man, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante? Logan, Bell, my man Hunter. How the hell are you guys doing? Whether you guys are here now, part of the Replay Mafia, my guys JT, JB, how the hell are you guys doing? And thank you as always for joining us, bro. So, yes, what's going on? What's going on, my man Hunter, bro? How are you, dude? How are you? All right. So, this episode of AEW Dynamite, man, I loved it. I loved it. For the most part, I loved it. I thought there was a bunch of right decisions being made, and on top of right decisions, holy shit, was that one of the best endings visually to an AEW Dynamite ever. A lot of people like to say that, you know, Mariah May can't be the face of a division. She can't, you know, do this and do that. And that is what I love about this story, is they've made you believe that Mariah May is just supposed to be some fucking background character to Toni Storm by design. And through all that, she comes out of this AEW Dynamite looking fucking insane in terms of momentum. Now, that's the other problem. Tony, please,
Don't fuck it up.
do not fuck this up with Mariah May, because after that ending, man, I mean, a little bit, it does scare me a little bit. It honestly does, bro, because we've seen this a lot with people in AEW where they got that moment, and then after that comes up, Tony Khan doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to book them. So that does scare me a little bit, but in terms of just, man, I mean, in terms of, you know, day one and the heel turn that Mariah May did, I tweeted it out right afterwards, bro. I love the story. I've praised the story all year. Here on this very show and Fridays as well. But yeah, like I was saying, I've praised the story all year, man. I've loved this story, and I thought they did a tremendous job on. Just like, man, even honestly, dude, just the fact that they gave her a heel turn segment made me happy. Where she actually definitively turned heel, and they didn't go into this thing buddy, or Mariah didn't do a thing where she just walked out on Toni Storm and then the next week she hated her fucking guts. She actually legit turned heel, and that was enough to make me happy, man. But I don't want to see her end up like a lot of people in AEW. So that is one thing that scares me, because just off this segment that we seen on Wednesday goes to show she's got it in her to be the face of the division. And I don't care, you know, what anybody likes to believe or whatever. She's got it in her to do it. She absolutely does. And I think she showed that. But I really don't want to see her end up like the typical AEW talent, man. And I really, really hope we don't trend in that direction.
Exactly, because Tony Khan's great at that. If you ever need to stop a fucking freight train or a metro, call Tony Khan. He knows a thing or two about derailing. And I hope Tony Storm. I hope Mariah May, and subsequently Toni Storm, after she loses the title, because we all know how Tony Khan works. I hope the momentum isn't lost here. I really hope not. And because last Wednesday was phenomenal. The ending surprised me. It was great.
Yeah.
Visual was amazing. And
Yes.
I really hope they keep up with this, man. I really hope they do.
Absolutely. Man, I can't tell you, and I can't tell you the last time on Dynamite. Well, actually, yeah, I can. It was when MJF returned all the way back in May. But before that, I can't tell you on Dynamite. I can't tell you the last time I stood up out of excitement for the company in terms of um now there's been things that have shocked me, like it shocked me when the Elite started beating up Tony Khan, but it didn't really make me jump out of my seat. It genuinely made me sit up and literally jump up a little bit, because I was just like, holy shit, like, man, like how epic was that? And then, man, I mean, we'll talk about it, bro, but yeah, I mean, it was amazing, man. It was amazing in every sense of the word, and it's one of those AEW moments that people are going to go back and watch for years to come. But I don't want people to go back and watch it for the wrong reasons. Why do we all go back and watch Wardlow stuff? Is it because we want to go back and watch Wardlow's origin story because he's a fucking menace in AEW and a top star in AEW right now? No. We all
No.
go back and watch Wardlow stuff because we want to remember when he was good. And I don't want that to be the case for Mariah May. I don't want to go back and watch her stuff and say, man, how did Tony Khan fuck this up? I want to go back and watch this as this is the moment where Mariah May broke the fuck out. And
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I really hope Tony Khan goes about this the right way, because he has a serious star on his hands in the women's division. And please don't make me wish this woman would have went to WWE, bro. Please, because honestly, the whole time she's been in AEW, you've done a great job on making me not feel that way, because you've put her in a story, and I can appreciate that. Please don't make me, please, for the love of God, don't make me wish this woman went to WWE, bro, because she's way too good. And like I said, surprisingly, ever since last year, he's done a great job. He's done a great job at making me feel like, okay, maybe AEW is going to be the proper place where they use her. Because he's put her in a story. He hasn't just thrown her in random fucking matches and, just done this and that with her. He's had her with Tony Storm tied at the hip, being the ultimate Tony Storm fangirl, and all for this story to come to a head and for her to turn on her, man. So I really, really can appreciate that. But again, man, I just don't want to see her end up like all these other
Yeah.
people in AEW. Countless fucking bodies have been spared in AEW due to Tony Khan's reckless booking.
Oh, literally, so many fucking. It's a bad amount of people, man. And I hope last Wednesday wasn't her peak, man. I really hope not.
Yeah, for sure. Because, like I said, you look at a lot of things with Tony Khan, he can book a rise. And when I tell you he can book a rise of a talent, he can book a rise, bro. But the problem with Tony, it's always the follow up. It's and it's
Mm-hmm.
and a lot. I mean, a lot of situations are guilty of not being able to book a follow up correctly. But man, he takes the cake for fucking killing somebody's momentum, man. I mean, he really, really does. He really does, man. He takes the cake on like Sir K said, stopping the old freight train. So he there he is. Yep, almost.
Okay, yeah, man. God dang.
Yeah,
Okay.
he takes the cake for being able to stop a freight train, dude. So it's definitely something that's scary, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
All right, man. The show is from Calgary, Alberta. I believe this is the home of Owen Hart. So we were doing the Owen Hart finals tonight. The show opens up with Will Ospreay. And as he comes out for a promo, Ospreay sits up on the turnbuckle, and he says, last week he was appalled and disgusted, but he was not surprised because he heard rumors about MJF being one of the most insecure men in wrestling. And the moment Daniel Garcia started creeping up on MJF's popularity,
I don't know about that, but hey, they can say that all they want. But
yeah.
for real viewers know what's up.
Yeah, I don't know that beating Nick Camarado and Titus Red are going to are going to creep you up on MJF's level of
No.
popularity. I don't know about all that, but regardless, the moment he started creeping up on MJF's popularity, MJF did what it took to stop it. He says Daniel Garcia is still at home with no feeling in his arms, wondering if he's going to be able to come back, and it's because of MJF. He says MJF blames the fans for opening up about his ADD. Ospreay said he has ADHD, and it doesn't give him a reason to be a prick. He says MJF does not like him. He says he could tell early on that MJF does not like him. He says the first reason is because the bidding war of 2024 didn't go his way. Because Tony would rather spend his money on guys who would build AEW and not bury it. I don't know about that. But the second reason is because he's a so-called talentless hack. Ospreay says he has more talent in his left nut than MJF has in his entire body. He says the main reason MJF does not like him is because he represents the foundation and identity of what AEW is meant to be. He says MJF's tattoo says AEW, bet on yourself, but it should say AEW, all about myself, because ever since you stepped back in AEW, he says, ever since he stepped in AEW, he felt like he was cleaning up after somebody's mess. And he felt like he was cleaning up after somebody's mess. And now he's found out whose mess he's been cleaning up after. He says he respects the act that MJF is a scumbag because that's the best version of MJF. He says it's been the same old shit for 5 years, but at the end of the day, it's the best version of you. Is that why we went back? Is that why we just went back? Because it was the best version of you? Which is completely ridiculous to say because they didn't even give him a chance wearing the whole leather jacket thing and doing that whole thing. They didn't even give him a chance. How can you say that suit-wearing scumbag MJF is the best version of MJF when you didn't even give this new version of him a fucking chance to get off its feet?
No, exactly. And it's like, at least, not obviously fully, because we never technically got that, but like, semi-face MJF, I would say is the best MJF so far. Not even like prime dickhead MJF. I'd rather have, that soft face MJF. Like, he was low key a kind of a face during like the Punk feud, and obviously with that Adam Cole stuff, that was like some of his best moments in AEW is when he's enjoying his time and the fans love him and he embraces it. That's kind of like him at his best.
Yeah, I was going to say, so obviously I love me dickhead MJF, but I think my favorite version of MJF is when he was heel, but he was transitioning to a baby face, like when he cut that pipe bomb in 2022.
Yeah, exactly.
When he was heel, but he was almost trending towards a baby face because he was getting tired of the company. I think that was my favorite version of MJF, for sure.
I would say, definitely, like, you just going back to the same old fucking safe route. Come on, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So he says it's been the same old shit for 5 years. But it doesn't matter to me because that's the best version of you. He says the level of the devil is ground level and he's on the top floor skyscraper bruv. This dude. He says this time he's not in England grieving because his nan passed away. He says he's looking for a fight and he calls out MJF to handle it. MJF's music hits, but he does not come out. He then plays on the Titantron, and he says, "People don't deserve to be this close to greatness." He says he's beaten every one of their favorites that they thought were top guys, and they fell to him. He says Ospreay is just the flavor of the month, and I'm the flavor of the millennial. He says he doesn't have to kill himself to get the people to like him. He says Ospreay. He says Ospreay is like a wind-up monkey. The people are going to wind him up, watch him do his routine, and then get tired of it and throw him to the side because they've seen your routine over and over and over. But MJF is not replaceable. But Will Ospreay is, and they will move on, and they will call the next flippy guy the best in the world. He says good wrestlers are a dime a dozen. He says he's a generational talent, and if you get in the ring with me, you will be exposed. He says no to Will Ospreay's challenge for tonight because he doesn't wrestle for fun or for their amusement. He wrestles for a purpose and the betterment of AEW. So he challenges him next week for the International Championship. He says Will won't be wrestling for stars because when I'm punching you in the face, you're going to be seeing them. Will Ospreay says, adorable. I'll see you next week, you little bitch. He throws the mic down, and that was it. See, so I get the crux behind MJF being, I get that. I guess I can understand the, I'm a heel, and I'm angry because this company isn't the one I love anymore. I can get that to an extent, but it's just kind of it just feels like we're just reverting back to an old gimmick because you think it's the best version of him. It's almost like it would almost be like Bray Wyatt coming back in 2022 and people wanting him to just revert back to the cult leader Bray. Like, bro, you're not even giving a new version of him a fucking opportunity. You know what I mean? Or I mean, I guess that would kind of be the best analogy I could give for it. But it's just, it doesn't seem like they gave this new reinvented version of him they didn't even give it a chance. How can you say, oh, well, this is the best version of you when the new version of him did not get a chance? It just doesn't make much sense to me.
Exactly. It's kind of annoying to just go back to the safe route that you already done, man. I mean, you could trust MJF. Every new version at the time of MJF has been phenomenal. So why not give it a chance? I don't see why the switch up is. I really don't.
No, absolutely. I don't understand it. I don't understand it whatsoever. And like I said, I can sort of get, I guess the motive of his character. I can sort of get the motive of his character, but I don't know. I don't know. This week wasn't, and that was the other thing. He says, I'm not going to wrestle this week because I don't wrestle for their amusement. So I thought he was going to, when he said, I'm going to wrestle, I wrestle for what did he say? I wrestle for a purpose and the betterment of the company. So in my head, exactly, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, okay, he's going to say, I'll wrestle you at Wembley. No. He just says, I'll wrestle you next, and it got confirmed for next week's Dynamite. So, okay.
I don't understand. Kind of contradict yourself there, buddy.
Yeah, it's...
What's so different about these crowds? Where are you even going this week? Is it a bigger city than fucking whatever's the last city they were in? Probably not.
It's Dynamite 250, but this episode of Dynamite was the Dynamite where they did all the Owen finals. So, I mean, this is a pretty big episode of Dynamite in itself. So I don't really understand what, I don't know, man, but I don't know. I guess that's just me nitpicking, but I don't know. It is kind of irritating, but I don't know why and if you did want to make MJF heel, I still don't know why we had to revert him back to the suit and literally just do old MJF, but instead of a tan Burberry scarf, it's a black Burberry scarf.
Don't get it. There's no difference. It's just...
If you did want to turn the guy heel, why couldn't we have at least kept him in the new getup?
I know, at least. I don't understand, dude. I really don't get it.
I don't understand. Bryan Danielson versus Hangman in the Owen final was the match that opened. That was the match that opened the show. Man, the crowd here was a little rough, to be honest. They were kind of a little mid tonight on this episode, or on last Wednesday's Dynamite, man, if I do say so myself.
I mean, at the end of the day, although it's, Canada, it's still the North America, and those overseas crowds just hit different, man. They really do. I think we're all thinking that damn near any American crowd that isn't Chicago just isn't hitting, bro. Or North American.
Definitely. Yeah, we've definitely been spoiled. We've definitely been spoiled for sure, man. Jeff Jarrett was the enforcer.
I didn't really understand that, but I thought when the match started, I was like, oh, I guess he's the ref for some reason, but no, they said he was the enforcer. And he was just sitting up on the ramp the whole match.
Which is funny because they said, well, he wants to be the enforcer for these matches to honor his friend Owen. I thought he was honoring Owen by being in the tournament. I thought that was everybody's argument. Like, oh, he's in there because to honor his friend. If he was just going to be a fucking enforcer, why the fuck was he in the tournament? Why couldn't he just enforce all the men's matches?
Like, I don't understand, dude. That threw me off so much.
Okay. Hangman had a label lock in on Bryan Danielson. He had a label lock in on Bryan Danielson, and Bryan rolled him back and rolled him up for the 1-2-3. This was a very good match. This was different than their other matches. This one was a bit more diabolical in terms of Hangman just looking like he wanted to just utterly kill this man, as to where their other ones have been pretty athletic contests, I would say. They've been pretty athletic contests, and not this one, bro. This one was a little more violent, man. This one just seemed like Hangman was trying to end this dude's life, and it came off really good, man. And one thing I will say, with putting Hangman in the tournament, I did not want Hangman to win. I know a lot of people, want to say, and honestly, in all honesty, I could see Hangman being added to this. I could see Hangman being added to this and making it a triple threat. I could see that. But I can and I think maybe the way to go about booking that is have Hangman be so obsessed with wanting to kill Swerve Strickland, it ends up fucking him over, and Bryan takes the title at All In. And then you got even more of a blood feud because Swerve was done with Hangman. Swerve doesn't really care that Hangman's out to get him. He's kind of just like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? I already beat you like 3 times or whatever it was. Now Swerve would have a motive to kind of want to spin back on Hangman and sort of, I don't know, just, get his lick back, because he's ultimately the reason that, he's not the world champ anymore. And I would actually really like something like that. But with them putting Hangman in the tournament, personally, I cared more to see, and this is just preference, but I cared more to see Hangman. I cared more to see his story marinate. I cared more to see Bryan Danielson. I said it from the jump. I cared more to see his story, go all the way to the main event of Wembley. And if this is his last year, dude, I don't care. I really don't care if Bryan wants the world title or not. I know he said it's too much on his body, but dude, you don't got to wrestle every week, bro. If I'm Tony Khan and if Bryan feels it's too much on his body, I mean, he already wrestles a lot anyway. You know what I mean? So if I'm Tony Khan, I'm using this world championship to make it lighter on his body. I'm only having him wrestle on pay-per-views and some select dynamites. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Bryan is sort of like Punk in their old age. They're injury prone at the end of the day, and that's okay. But we can book around that, and we can try our best to prevent that. Now, injuries happen, but we can, at the end of the day, we could try our best to prevent that. I cared more to see Bryan Danielson get one last moment than Hangman and Swerve are going to be here for years. You know what I mean? If this is really Bryan's last year, it can wait. It's not urgent for Hangman and Swerve to be in the main event of All In. And I actually think their story marinating is actually going to make it a little bit more of a blood feud, and I think it's going to make it more interesting. But with them putting Hangman in there, it originally upset me because I thought he was just going to run the tournament and win. But the fact that they had him go all the way to the finals and pose as a legit threat to the point where I thought Hangman was winning the tournament, just for Bryan to overcome the odds and to stack the odds against Bryan, I love that. I really love that, man. And I thought they did that perfectly.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I think they did great. I was not a fan of him joining the tournament at first, like you. But I think it worked out in the end, man, and I like what they could be setting up. I really like your idea. I don't know the route they're gonna go. I feel like they might go somewhere out that route because he really does have his eyes set on Swerve. So I hope they just don't wait until Swerve loses the title to do that. I hope it's because, in some form or way, Hangman making him being the main reason he loses his title to that feud coming back. But it's interesting, man. I think they ended up doing the annual tournament real well. I like what they did there. I like how it's Bryan, and they could be building something really good, man. I hope they go through with it.
Absolutely. Swerve comes out here for a face-off afterwards. Him and Bryan face off. Bryan's all bloodied, and he's holding up the Owen Hart belt and the trophy. He looked like an absolute badass. And he's him and Swerve do a face-off. We go to commercial, and Swerve is there. Bryan is gone. I guess Bryan said, fuck this promo battle. We're going to do it next week, I guess. Or I guess he said we got another... Yeah, I guess he said we got another month and a half to do this. I'm a head out from now. So I guess he went away, and Swerve was in the ring. And Swerve says 2 weeks ago he stood across from Ospreay. And Ospreay said the best in the world holds the AEW championship. He congratulates Bryan. He says it's going to be an honor to face you at Wembley Stadium. He says he holds on to grudges, and he remembers that Bryan has a pinfall win over him. He says we are at different points in our careers. Swerve on the up and Bryan on the down. He says, he announces he will be a part of Team AEW in Blood and Guts. He says he's going to do two things that Bryan hasn't done this year. He already beat Will Ospreay, and next he's going to beat the Elite. He says we're in the Dynasty era, and he says it's him, Okada, and Ospreay as the big three of the era. And then he challenges Okada to a match for next week. And he tells Bryan that he will see him at All In. So I guess it's been confirmed for Dynamite 250. We're getting Swerve versus Okada. Uh, could I'm gonna be that guy, but could it have waited for a story? It absolutely could have, but since one guy is on Team AEW, the other one's on
Yeah,
Team Elite, it sort of does make sense. It's not just Tony randomly announcing on Twitter after these guys have never even breathed in each other's directions before. It's not just Tony announcing Swerve versus Okada. Like, it makes a little sense.
it does make a
And
lot of
then
sense.
it made a little sense here, with Swerve saying, that there's a big three, and it's him, Okada, and Ospreay. I don't know about Okada being in the big three. I mean, Okada's great, but an AEW nah. I mean, that's an obvious MJF, right?
I would say either MJF or if we're talking this exact like era, you could either do MJF or Bryan. But
I
I
respect
would
that.
say Okada right now.
No,
Like,
Okada's
what?
great, but a big three?
He's got the third mid-card championship, bro. Like, I forget he has that thing. I forget that thing exists every week
Yeah,
until I
and
see him.
all Tony spam belts onto all three of them.
He did
Swerve was the only one that's been in the company for a couple
like
years before he got his title.
exact Swerve actually like been through the mud. He was in a literal non-existent feud with Keith Lee because they just didn't do it for a year and a half.
And then they tried to
um,
do it while Keith Lee was on the brink of his body breaking down because he was wrestling with a fucking injury for a year and a half with it. But what do I know?
so Keith Swerve done did his time already in AEW. The other two just came in and won shit. So yeah, there is a big three. I wouldn't put Okada in it. I would put either MJF or Bryan Danielson. Depending on, the moment. I actually might lean towards Bryan Danielson, if anything, right now. Um, but yeah, I actually did overall like that promo from Swerve, man. I did like the mention of you can't have Team AEW Team AEW without the AEW champion. I like that. And it's interesting, I'm not too big on the babyface team overall, but a lot of
Come on,
the
dude.
little aspects of the feud is all right. I'm digging it.
Dude, you're not down to see the Elite versus the Conglomeration? Come on,
It's
dog.
so, bro,
Actually,
like,
team's looking on the up and up.
yeah.
Because we got Briscoe, Swerve, and then other than like the Acclaimed and Kyle O'Reilly, looks like Darby's gonna be in one of them spots.
I
So
was gonna say after that shocking, I guess I think he might be good now. I saw him stage diving at fucking at
oh
one
yeah.
of
I was saying
King's
Brody
concerts.
Brody King just fucking threw
Oh,
bro into the crowd.
so if he still has a broken leg, my God, that man just can't be stopped. And but if not, that's a pretty solid team so far, man. It's looking better than I thought it was gonna look because boy, oh boy, I thought we were gonna get I was gonna say the accommodation, the conglomeration.
Combination.
Fuck. The Tony Khan, we're basically getting the the accommodation title.
Yikes. Um well, the Acclaimed then did a diss music video on the Young Bucks.
I literally had to mute the TV, bro. That shit was not it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was kind of corny. I mean, that's the
Twitter's
Acclaim
making them
though. I
lose
mean,
their
it's
fire.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the Acclaimed were always corny, man. But I mean, and that's kind of their shtick. But I mean, this one didn't do it for me. If I'm being 100% honest, bro. Um,
No, I'm not feeling it.
yeah, that I don't know. However, Jericho and Samoa Joe were in a street fight, and this one ended via referee stoppage because Jericho and the Learning Tree put Samoa Joe up on a pallet on a forklift, and Chris Jericho, looking like the worst forklift driver on the fucking face of the planet, um,
I mean, he didn't hit a sprinkler head, so can't be that bad.
that's true. That's true, man. That's true. Um, he wasn't driving with fucking Samoa Joe 30 feet up in the fucking air.
For no reason.
So he backs the forklift up, and again, very choppy, bro. Very choppy. I might have to teach Jericho how to whip that thing around, bro, because, man, the skills were looking a bit choppy, if I do say so myself. But anyways.
I was gonna say, let me get a reach truck back there, man. You'll see me driving like a prick, like I always
Oh,
do.
it's over. Get me on the
Let
reach,
me
bro. No, it's
drive
over.
like your asshole. They are gonna hate me.
I'm gonna just turn the dial and then push the fucking joystick all the way and just watch that motherfucker just spin around and around.
That shit is going on its side, guaranteed.
It's over with. He smashes Samoa Joe through the most blatant prop wall you can ever imagine. And once he breaks through the prop wall, if you look over to the left, you could just see the little hallway that they built. This. It literally looks like they went to fucking Lowe's and grabbed some half-inch 4x8 drywall and just put it on some 2x4s and just said, "All right, he's gonna throw him through this."
That's all they did, bro. That's the one thing I always hated about like breakthrough the wall segments, man. Dude, no matter who does it, it always looks like just a fake ass room, bro.
Yeah.
Like you can't find a space in that arena that looks like it's just like like a almost complete box. You just need one more wall. That's where you put the fake wall. You can't. That had to exist somewhere in that arena that you could have done that.
Like, bro, you just expect me to believe in the middle of a hallway, in the middle of a concrete building, you expect me to believe there's supposed to be some unpainted ass drywall just sitting in the middle of the fucking, just sitting in the middle of the hallway, just doing nothing. Okay. Anyways.
In a fucking building where drywall is nowhere to be found.
Seriously, it's literally just all a concrete building or cinder block, whatever. Bro, anyways, they send Samoa Joe through the prop wall, and Big Bill and Chris Jericho are fucking dying laughing like they're in the fucking Wyatt Six. Jericho hops off the forklift, and he looks in the camera, and he just says again, like he's a cast of the fucking movie Smile. He's just smiling at the fucking camera, and he's like, "How does that feel, Samoa Joke?" As fucking Big Bill is cackling like he's fucking Seth Rollins or like he's Bo Dallas, like bro just murked everybody in Gorilla like he's a member of the Wyatt Six. And then we come back from commercial, and Samoa Joe is being stretchered all the way to Canada because Jericho might have just knocked out his sweet tooth. And there they are. Now, there's the learning tree standing there as the ambulance drives away, all fucking deviously smiling like they just took out and shot Chad Gable in the head. What the hell was that? Okay, so as for a Samoa Joe send-off and a write-off, I thought it was great. I thought it was a good way to write him off, but I mean, what was the acting by the learning tree here? I mean, this shit just looked fucking horrible.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't get. I don't get the gimmick. Like, I get he's like delusional and happy, and he doesn't think the things he's doing is like wrong, I guess. But like, yeah, that you can do that with like just being a dickhead. Okay, that can do something. But when you're committing fucking murder and you're still like it doesn't correlate. I don't understand the gimmick. First of all, how long you been waiting for that sweet tooth line? How long you had that shit in the deck? I'm sure since Wednesday. But
look, man, since Wednesday, I've been having that shit in the chamber since fucking season 1 ended. Okay.
Oh, Lord. Oh God. But
they just woke up a monster, okay? And next summer, I'm gonna see the monster. You know what I'm saying?
are you?
Dude,
I got you.
Oh, you gotta watch it, bro. You gotta watch it, man. Samoa, dude, amazing performance, bro. I mean, holy shit, he was amazing, man. I love Joe. He's even more goated. Put the title on him. It's over.
Okay. This fucking guy. But yeah, really like you said, it worked as a good send off. Like the moment itself was good. Obviously it's gonna keep him off TV for a while. However long they need to film. But it's like what was that and like what's next for this faction? What do you do next? I don't care. Like, yeah. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't get it, dude.
I hope it's reminiscent of what Sweet Tooth did to Stu in the series, because I need the faction to die. That's what I hope fucking happens to the group. I hope they meet Sweet Tooth. Okay? How does that feel, Samoa Joke? Get the fucking group off television, for the love of fucking God. Samoa Joke. You know what's a joke? The learning tree. Okay? That's the
Literally.
joke. That's the only joke here. And then sitting there watching on and fucking Big Bill cackling like bro's fucking 2016 Bray Wyatt. I mean, what was that? It was horrible.
I don't understand, man. I really don't get it.
This fucking group sucks, man. I fucking hate this group, dude. God. No, but seriously, man. I really, yeah, man. This group needs to meet a serious demise, and soon. Please. So anyways, the Global Glory 4-way. What the
Okay.
fuck was this?
Dude, that shit came on my TV. I was so confused. I was like, bro, what is this?
Pac versus Ishii, Claudio, and Kyle Fletcher. Pac won by the Rings of Saturn to Kyle Fletcher. And he says in the hard cam, he says in the hard cam, he won't be denied his moment at Wembley. Is this international title match he's supposed to be getting at Wembley, or is it gonna be before Wembley? And if Will Ospreay's in a feud, why are we loading him up with challengers before Wembley if he's gonna be in a feud with MJF?
I feel like what they could do, and actually, in a way, I would like, if somehow during this MJF food, he costs, Will Ospreay's title to just somebody else, and there's a separate fucking, whole thing for that title, and then Will Ospreay and MJF got their thing.
What would you do for Pac?
Fucking WWE, first of all, but fuck, who's on that roster, dude? I mean, you do, if it was me, it'd be like fucking Malachi Black or something, but knowing Tony Khan, who knows who it's gonna be.
Yeah. And two, I know they've been, maybe, damn, I don't know. Malachi, or Ricochet. Isn't Ricochet coming in? Maybe Ricochet and Pac would be. Yeah, Tony could spam the title right on Ricochet.
Oh yeah, you would spam the title right on him too.
Yeah, that would fit his booking. I like that.
Yeah, that would really fit his booking.
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, you got like Malachi, but like Malachi clearly was only on TV because Adam Copeland wanted to work with him, because he wanted to be 10 toes down instead. But
I guess he's still doing something on Collision. I can't tell you what it is, but
honestly,
group is there every week.
Honestly, the only person that I could fucking think of is Ricochet, because I mean, he's the only person I guess that would exude any sort of excitement. And then that's Rick. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's Ricochet versus Pac. I don't know who wouldn't want to see that, but I don't know, man. But yeah, man. So Pac is getting a future shot, I guess, at the title, whether it's at Wembley or a episode of. I could see them doing this maybe on the Blood and Guts episode of Dynamite, maybe.
Maybe it's like the other match on the because they usually, first half is something, and the second half is just Blood and Guts. So this could be the one, maybe two matches, on the first half.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. Hangman backstage, man, he gets shoulder bumped, or Renee gets shoulder bumped by Hangman. She tries to get a word with him, and he tries to deny her by yelling at her, and she actually yells back. I actually really like that. That's why I love Renee. Yeah, I actually love Renee. I love when I love when the interviewers act like real people.
Mm-hmm.
She yells back at him
Mm-hmm.
to get some damn respect for what she's trying to do. Hangman knocks on the door, and Okada answers. He asks Hangman if he can help him. Hangman goes to walk by Okada, and Okada moves over in front of the door, and he gets in Hangman's face. The Bucks then come to the door, and they kind of separate these two, and they ask Hangman if there's anything they could do for him. He says, "I'll do it," and he walks away. I love this segment. I love how Okada, like Adam Copeland stood 10 toes down, except Okada didn't break his. And Renee, yeah,
15
and
feet on his feet.
fucking 20 feet in the fucking air, man. Holy fuck.
I've never seen in my life, dude. It's legendary. Jump 20 feet straight onto your feet.
God.
Oh, roll or nothing, bro.
Golly. Imagine missing Wembley for that. Holy
that.
fuck, man.
We're fucking backing out in midair. Like, bro, like, you've been through this a million times. I mean, I get you're older now and whatnot, but like, fuck, if you just go vertically, you'll be fine.
Mhm.
Or horizontally, no, because he did go vertically and he broke his fucking leg.
Yeah.
Legendary moment.
Yes, and I really like the touch of Okada, kind of not backing down from Hangman, and I also like I like the touch of like I said, Renee yelling back at him and being like, "Yo, dude, don't fucking disrespect me. I'm just trying to do my fucking job." You know what I mean? I like that. That's very human of her, and that's what I like to see. I if there's one thing I can't stand in wrestling, it's when these interviewers come off like robots.
Oh, they're just standing there smiling at the camera
Yeah.
and just asking the most fucking benign questions in the world. Oh, I hate that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, any normal person would be like, "Yo, dude, what the fuck?
Yo,
Don't
bro.
disrespect me."
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm just trying to do my fucking job. You know what I mean? Especially, and if he, kind of pushed her or he kind of nudged her or shoulder bumped her or whatever, I mean, that would be anybody's normal reaction. Is just like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like, So I like that. I like that a lot. And again, I like how I like how Okada. I like how Okada too. He didn't back down from Hangman, and he actually got in his face because he's not gonna let people walk all over him. So I like that. I like that. And it was a good
Exactly.
segment, and I like that Hangman is in blood and guts, and I definitely think this could be a loophole to get Hangman still in the main event of Wembley, but then still putting the title on Danielson whilst making Swerve not look weak. I like that.
Exactly. I think they have the perfect setup here.
Even though Swerve would not look weak losing to Bryan Danielson for the record, but still.
No. It's more less of a way to make them look weak, more of a way to just to get that feud back and going, kickstart again.
Yeah, definitely. So Mercedes comes out for a toast. She comes out and she gets absolutely no reaction whatsoever.
Yeah.
None. Them CEO pipe-ins, man, those hit different when it goes down and nobody is chanting it other than the song. Ooh, rough.
Instead of put the chant in your song, bro. That's why when Trick Williams coming out, I mean, technically for a whole other legal reason, but it's not even a song. It's just the crowd that says it.
Yeah. Yep. She comes out and she says she's excited to make her toast. She thinks, she thanks the Bucks for the extra security so she does not get interrupted. She said everyone here knows she is the past, present, and future. She says she is the best thing the best thing there is, was, or the best thing there was, the best thing there is, and the best thing there ever will be. She says she's not facing or okay, she says she's the best there was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be. She said she is not facing Britt at All In because if she did, she would leave her with way much more than a stroke. She says she would leave her for dead as she raised up her glass for a toast. And she says she is going to toast to the greatest of all time. And then Britt comes out there. So much for the extra security. She takes them all out, jumps in the ring, and Mercedes runs away. I don't know why we're doing another like celebration segment when we just did this last week with Mercedes. However, I do like her a lot more in a heel role. Her playing the babyface role. I mean, dude, if you're gonna Hogan yourself, bro, you can't be a babyface here, man. I'm sorry to break it to you.
Exactly. That's the whole point of Hogan and yourself is the fans aren't gonna be happy. You gotta put yourself forward. Fuck all the other people, and you just book yourself like a monster, and people are gonna hate you for it. And you gotta embrace that, man. Especially if you're Hogan it. If you're Hogan the spotlight.
Definitely. We get a backstage segment where Brandon Cutler is laying on the ground saying, "Stop! Stop! I've had enough! Stop!" And his face is, half, painted like white and black, kind of, Darby Allin reminiscent. And the camera goes out, and Darby is standing above him. I was more so shocked it was Darby. I can't even remember if he still had a boot on, but I hope that man is, fine.
God, I hope he is. I hope he is, man, just for his sake, man. Like, fucking hell, I man has been through so much. I hope it's all of it's good now. Which, I mean, Seth recovered from the broken. That's what Seth had, right? A broken leg. Did he not have one? Or an ankle or whatever that was?
No, his was his. I believe it was his MCL. But Punk was only out 2 months with his broken foot.
Exactly, that's what I was fucking thinking of.
That was
so
the
fucking injuries in the world.
That was well. You got a lot just talking about CM Punk himself, man. That was the one that led us down the rabbit hole.
Fucking hey, fucking how many fucking injuries led us down the rabbit hole with CM Punk?
It was that ever since that foot injury, bro, that the Dynamite after Double or Nothing, it seems like every other fucking run this guy got injured.
I swear to God, that crowd surfing was a curse, man. I don't know what the elite were doing back there, if they were doing some seances or something, but
they're putting something in his water.
Fuck, yeah, I guess they were. They really were, man. Fuck. No, man, it's great to see Darby back. Like you said, I didn't even see. I don't remember if there was a boot or not. I hope there's not. I hope he's all good. And if he is all good, that's a great addition to that fucking to Blood and Guts.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me see real quick. I should have had this on deck. Let me see. So, let's see. Yeah, so in the video of Brody King throwing him into the crowd, it doesn't look like he has a boot on. No, it doesn't look. It looks like he's just yeah. And here, let's see.
I don't think he had one in that crowd surfing video either.
Yeah, and on Dynamite he didn't have. He just had two normal shoes on, so or his boots, but not like a walking, like a broken foot boot. So yeah, he looked good, man. He looked good, but yes, I mean he did get the injury in March, so it's been about 4 months by now, so I mean he should be fine, and thankfully he got through Double or Nothing okay. And he says the Elite thought it was over, But like Jack Perry says, everybody's got to make sacrifices. He says Dynamite 250, we're just getting started. So I think at All In, we're going to be gearing up for Darby Allin versus Jack Perry. That's if they don't put the Elite in an Anarchy or a Stadium Stampede, which I could very well see that.
I could see that. I wouldn't do it. I think they kind of, at least for the next pay-per-view, kind of overplayed, the multi-man, obviously, faction special matches. I'd say let them all do their separate things at All In. And I hope that's the path. I think that's a solid match.
Yeah, I'm thinking either Stadium Stampede or, if, judging off what we see tonight, I could very well see Darby versus Jack Perry for the TNT Championship at All In. I could see that as another option.
Yeah, that'd be a good option. I'm down for that.
Definitely. Mariah May in the main event. But yes, nonetheless, so excited to see Darby back. He's one of my favorites on AEW, so always can't complain about seeing old Darbs. But yes, Mariah May versus Willow in the main event here on Dynamite. So match was going well, I guess, and Chris Statlander, there was a guy in a hoodie that came out. Willow was focused on. That ended up being Stokely. And when she was focused on Stokely, Statlander came out and hit Willow, which led to Mariah rolling Willow Nightingale up and winning the women's Owen Hart tournament. So Mariah May wins the match. Everything is all well in the world. Everything's going according to plan in the world for Mariah May. Her and Tony are hugging. They're hugging and they're celebrating in the ring. They're holding hands, skipping up the ramp as if just everything in the world is perfect. Mariah then lets go of her hand and she runs up the stage. She goes up, grabs the belt, the Owen belt. She's holding it up for a second, and as soon as Tony gets to the top of that ramp, Mariah May runs at her with the title and smacks her right in the face with it. She smacks her right in the face with the championship as she then grabs the belt and starts whipping her with it. She's whipping her with the championship over and over and over, and she's whipping her with the belt, and Luther then walks up on top of the stage to try to stop Mariah. She then hits him with the title and she kicks him in the balls, and then Tony Storm played this off perfectly, bro. Tony is yelling Mariah as if she is screaming bloody murder, as if she's being killed, and she's already kind of bleeding. Oh, it was amazing. Mariah then, notices her yelling Mariah, and she kicks her in the gut, and Tony, again, is literally playing this off as if she's getting fucking stabbed, and she's whipping her with the championship. She's kicking her in the gut. Luther gets up. She throws him off the stage through a table. Tony's crying, literally crying, bro. Like, again, I cannot stress this enough. She is screaming bloody murder. Mariah then grabs the shoe. Tony Storm always says, watch for the shoe. She grabs the shoe. She takes the heel, and she starts just bludgeoning Tony Storm in the fucking forehead, where Tony, dude, the black and white look that Tony Storm gives off, like, her makeup's very very old, very black and white. The black and white, like, makeup with the white hair, with the red blood streaming down her face was absolutely one of the most insane visuals I've ever seen in AEW. And she, again, starts bludgeoning her with the fucking heel of the shoe. And, again, man, just completely just murdering Tony Storm, dude. And it was fucking insane. It was fucking insane, man. It was nuts, dude. It was nuts. Like I said, man, it was one of the craziest visuals I've ever seen on AEW television, man. It was absolutely fantastic, bro. It was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. It's been an amazing story. It's been an amazing story, man. As Mariah May is holding Toni Storm by her hair, Toni is crying because this is her, this is her girl, Mariah May, her protege, I guess. The crowd is chanting, "You sick fuck," as Mariah May just has this devious look on her face as she kisses Toni Storm on the forehead, and now Mariah's got all her blood, all Toni's blood on the side of her face, man, as Dynamite goes off the air to absolutely one of the best cliffhangers and one of the best fucking visuals of AEW Dynamite. You need to open Wednesday's Dynamite with Mariah May, no question.
Oh, you have to. That's the best way you can do television. And that Indian Dynamite was fucking phenomenal, man. I did not expect that.
No.
I assumed the Mariah May and Toni Storm feud. I always assumed, Toni Storm would be the heel. Mariah would get sick of her. Finally, do a Tony Khan. Kind of like turn, but like, technically she'd go face. In some form or way. I did not expect this, man. I really didn't. That shocked me. And I'm excited, dude. I thought that she was fucking phenomenal. And I can't wait to see how they do this. I did not expect it to go down this route. But I'm so glad it did. I'm so glad it is.
Yes, no question. I loved it. I loved it, man. I really did. I thought it was amazing. Man. And that was your episode of AEW Dynamite, man. And I gotta admit, bro, it was yet again another great edition of AEW Dynamite on the way to Wembley, bro. So I loved it, man. I thought it was another great episode for sure.
I thought 100%, man. It was pretty solid, man. Besides that random ass fucking 4-way match.
Yeah, literally,
I
that was
thought
the
it was a
only
pretty fucking
thing.
great episode.
Yep, that was the only thing that made
But
me
other than that, it
question.
was genuinely great.
Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
Fucking delay here.
No, you're good.
But it was genuinely great, man. Genuinely great episode.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, like the Global Glory Fatal 4-Way was the only fucking thing that loaded up on my screen that made me say, "What the fuck is this?" That was the only thing, man.
Literally.
So yeah, I can appreciate that, man. But moving on here to Monday Night Raw, nothing really from SmackDown other than Bloodline attacking Cody and Randy segment. Other than that, it was nothing much. And BBL Bailey. Other than that, that was hilarious, bro.
BBL
Bailey.
Else, bro.
That's fucking
God
something.
damn.
Monday Night Raw from Dayton, Ohio. This was a great edition of Monday Night Raw. I thought they utilized the 3 hours perfectly. Man, it went by pretty good, about as fast as a 3-hour show can go by. None of these 3-hour shows are really going to go by that fast, but I thought they dragged out the excitement. They placed the excitement of the show at good points, for sure. I only had a couple gripes with this show, man, but this one was from Dayton, Ohio, as they will be in Cleveland, Ohio, in about, I think we got, 2 more Raws till SummerSlam, so we got, we got next week's Raw, and then in 2 weeks, 2 weeks Unscripted, we'll be talking about the go home show for SummerSlam, man. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting for sure. The show opens up with Rhea Ripley. Rhea opens the show. She says, "Mommy is home." She says it's been 3 months and she's been seeing Liv Morgan run around not with Dominic, because she's going to deal with him later, but she's been seeing Liv Morgan run around with her Women's World Championship. She says Liv thought she took her out, but all she really did was piss her off. And she calls Liv out here so she can rip her apart. Dominic comes out. And he comes out to a string of booze and one black rose. And he's saying, Mommy, Mamacita, please. As they're just booing him, he can't even get a word out. And before he even gets a word out, Liv Morgan pops up on the Tron, and she says hello to Rhea, and she welcomes her back. She says, before I get started, I just want to apologize for having no voice because I was in Mexico this past weekend, and I'm known to be a screamer. Oh, Lord. Fucking Dominic.
God damn.
She says she's known to be a screamer. Oh, what were you saying?
You're doing all this shit now. You got BBL Bailey, you got all this Liv Morgan shit. Dude, Netflix is gonna be insane, bro.
Oh, bro. Man. Yeah, yeah, we're going to be getting some hilarious shit on there, dude. She says she apologizes for having no voice because she was in Mexico this past weekend, and she's known to be a screamer. She says, hi, Daddy Dom. She asks Rhea how her shoulder is doing after what she did to her. She then says, just so you know, my shoulder is doing fine because I have this on it, as she, points at the World Heavyweight Champ or the Women's World Championship. She says my shoulder is doing fine because it has the world title on it. She says she hopes by now. She hopes. She said she hopes Rhea knows by now that she meant what she said, that she was going to take everything from her, including Dominic. But she says at first she didn't know what Rhea saw in him. She says at first she was confused and she just wanted to hurt Rhea, but then she got to spend time with him and look into his eyes and kiss him, and it all became real to her. More real than what Rhea and Dom had. Since Rhea's been gone, she's had Dom all to herself. She says mommy may be home, but Liv is finally on top. As Dominic's just sitting there putting his fucking head down like he's on Dom is just sitting there putting his fucking head down like he's in like he's the bad child in detention. So
no, literally.
Yeah, as Rhea, every time Rhea's looking at him, he's just putting his fucking head down like fuck.
Like, oh man, I fucked up.
Dom grabs the mic and he says, "It's not what it looks like." And he goes to hand Rhea the rose. Rhea then says she knew Liv would be too scared to come out here and face her. She then says, she then says when Liv gets into the ring with her revenge tour ends. She says she set out for 3 months, and she thinks her patience can last her a little bit longer, so she is going to send out a challenge for SummerSlam. Liv says she knew the end game would always be Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the women's world title, but she thinks Rhea should know that I am not the same Liv Morgan that you used to know. She said, just like I helped Dominic beat his deadbeat dad, which is something that he never did while he was with you, I am finally going to beat you too. She then says bye to Daddy Dom as Rhea stares into Dominic's soul. Dominic's looking scared. Rhea Ripley then looks into the camera, and she says, come SummerSlam. She's not only going to end the revenge tour, she's not only going to end her title reign, she's going to end her career. Watch me, says Rhea Ripley, man. It is so good. It is so good to have Rhea Ripley back to add. I mean, again, I said it last week, and I've honestly been saying it ever since Rhea got hurt. They literally, bro, from the moment she got hurt, they set her return up perfectly. And immediately made it one of the most intriguing things going into SummerSlam. And honestly, dude, I know a lot of people are trying to keep the SummerSlam cards to like 5. Last year, Triple H did 9 matches on SummerSlam.
Yeah, it was fine.
He did 9 matches on SummerSlam. So either way, I think it's going to be a bit of a long show because some things I just don't know how you leave off the card. Obviously, we're getting Cody and the Weekend. We're getting
And
the McDonald's worker, Cody versus
Mr.
the drive-through man. We're getting Damian Priest and Gunther. Yuck.
So,
We're getting that. We're getting LA Knight and Logan Paul. I'm assuming DIY is going to be on the show because Gargano's from Cleveland, Liv and Rhea,
say,
Drew and Punk. That's 6 matches right there, and those are all matches that I think have to be on the show.
oh, massive. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it makes sense for SummerSlam. I get a lot. I don't know why people hate it, but for the non-main pay-per-views, 5 matches. I like that system, but I think for SummerSlam, you could do more than that. I think, and like you were saying too, actually, at first I really didn't like the idea of a
Yeah.
2-night SummerSlam, but the
Same.
more, like you said, the more this summer is filling out, I think it'll make sense this next year and whatnot.
Exactly, and it actually makes me a little annoyed that we have to wait until 2026 because we're probably gonna, at least after this year, we're gonna have to deal with probably one more overcrowded SummerSlam card. Again, as time moves on, I definitely do want to take back. I definitely want to take back what I did say
That was
about
wrong.
about the SummerSlam thing, and I actually do think it was a better idea because last year at SummerSlam, there was 8 matches on the show. One of them was a cash-in, so that doesn't really count. But, Logan Paul and Ricochet, Brock and Cody, the Slim Jim Battle Royal, Shayna Baszler and Ronda, Gunther and Drew, Rollins and Finn, Bianca, Asuka and Charlotte, which then the EO cash-in, and then Roman and Jay. So technically 9 matches, but basically 8, because the cash-in doesn't really count as a whole nother match on the card. But but I mean, it was 8 matches, and I mean, like I said, you're looking at about 6 right there, and then 2, the one Uncle Bo, Uncle Howdy or Bo Dallas versus Chad Gable, either that or Wyatt 6 versus the Alpha Academy, I think is going to be on the show. So there are 7 right there, and as long as they don't start doing this kind of shit for like, we're going to do Royal Rumble one night, we're going to do the Women's Rumble, and one night, as long as you don't start doing shit like that, if Triple H is going to book SummerSlam to this, and Nia Jackson, BBL Bailey. So as long as Triple H doesn't start doing stuff like that, and as long as he builds SummerSlam how he's built SummerSlam this year, I'm okay with SummerSlam being 2 nights because it calls for it. It does. Just in terms of the amount of, like I said, the amount of oomph he's putting into SummerSlam. Like I said, I just named off like 8 matches right there, man. So and I think 8 matches is fine. Like I said, now that I have them all in my brain, you got Cody versus Ronald McDonald. You have Jack Swagger versus Gunther. You got LA Knight and Logan Paul. I'm assuming the real tribal chief Tongaloa and his brother MJF against DIY. You got Uncle, I almost did it again, Uncle Howdy versus Bo Dallas or Wyatt 6 something. Bailey and Nia, Rhea and Liv, and then what was the last one? I just said it. Punk and Drew. So there's your 8 matches right
Mhm.
there. And like I said, he did 8 matches last year for SummerSlam. So I know everybody's been accustomed to the 5-match cards, but I think for SummerSlam, he's going to do something a little different. And if SummerSlams are typically going to be built to this level of prestige, and with the King of the Ring coming back, it makes it a lot more prestigious. I'm definitely fine with it. And it does make SummerSlam, it actually could potentially make SummerSlam actually feel like the
Definitely.
biggest party of the summer, like it used to fucking feel like. So, yeah.
Exactly. This is like the first SummerSlam that I'm like fucking like last year, I was excited, you know what I mean? But like
It
this year, I'm
fell
like,
on its
I'm pumped
face.
for SummerSlam. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It did fall on its fucking face. No, this year, I'm like incredibly excited. And even thinking about it now, I don't think there's many things they can do at SummerSlam that's gonna make it fall on their face this year. So I'm really excited, man. And I saw it was going around, kind of yesterday and the day before. People were talking about SummerSlam and the vibe of it. And I really think the only thing they need left is bring like the logo and graphics design to back to that summer vibe. And
Yes.
I think they fucking nailed SummerSlam. They needed because they were. I saw people posting old SummerSlam photos of, and they were, it's kind of goofy, but they had the edits of all the guys grilling and they're on a roller coaster,
Yeah.
and I would just like that vibe back with SummerSlam. I think that would help it a lot.
Yeah,
Just
me.
put a fucking palm tree on my head, bro,
Yeah.
please.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that those are the Summer Slams I grew up on, and I mean, dude, if it's just a poster, man, I mean, who gives a shit? It gives a more Summer Slam vibe than a fucking exhaust pipe. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it made sense. I mean, it was Motor City, so they did the exhaust pipe, but I'm sorry, man, the logo is ugly.
Oh, it was so ugly, dude. And this year's like,
It's ugly too.
and like, bro, do like that cool orange you did for the one,
Oh, dude,
dude.
the
It's really
Nashville
about the colors.
SummerSlam was beautiful. Love that.
You You gotta do orange, green, blue, yellow. You gotta do like those summer colors, bro. That
And
fucking metal fucking silver gray.
and two, you know what I think definitely took away from SummerSlam last year, I think it had a lot to do, man, with Ford Field being inside. I
Yeah.
like again the one in Nashville. The show opened up and it was daytime
It,
because
it,
you know what I mean. And then this year they're in an outside. They're in Cleveland Brown Stadium, so it's an
it was
outside arena
insane.
and it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
daytime. And I loved the look of Nashville. I would like for them to maybe do a little something different than the tunnel. I would like to see them at least put a fucking prop, at least. But at the end of the day, it's going to give more of a SummerSlam vibe, and that is what I like, man. That is what I like for SummerSlam. I thought the one in Nashville would look beautiful. And Nashville SummerSlam didn't do great. They didn't do great because it was a Vince McMahon SummerSlam, and nobody, anticipated Triple H to take over when he did. I would love Nashville to get another SummerSlam to almost get a redemption as
Mm-hmm.
I mean that ended up being a great SummerSlam show, and then the last year it was shaping up to be a great SummerSlam show, but then it fell on its fucking face, man. It really did. I mean, nothing hit, everything underwhelmed. You know what I mean? It was a very underwhelming show. And it fell flat. The logo didn't feel like summer. Detroit didn't feel like a summer place, and at the end of the day, too, ultimately Cleveland doesn't, but at least it's going to be outside, so it'll give me a little bit more of a summer
Exactly.
vibe. Um,
Exactly. As long as those cameras cut on that day and you see the sunshine, man. I think that's enough for me, man.
yeah,
Thank God.
and I'm sorry, dude, but Ford Field is fucking ugly. It's an ugly fucking venue.
Oh, it was. It was a very ugly venue, man. I don't think nothing can beat the Now Arena, but that one came pretty close.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Dude.
I mean, it's just plain inside. It just doesn't, again, I mean, maybe it's not even. Maybe they could hold a Royal Rumble in Ford Field and be fine, But that's
Yeah,
Royal Rumble, man. But not. It just didn't fit SummerSlam. It didn't.
No, I really fucking didn't, man. So I'm happy it's outside this year and we could get some fucking sunshine in summer.
Absolutely. And I don't know where they're bringing SummerSlam 2025. I don't know if it's going to Chicago. I don't know if it's going to I don't know where it's going to, but again, if you're going to do somewhere, bring it to a baseball park or you bring it
Somewhere.
to a football stadium and you bring it to somewhere nice. You bring it somewhere nice, you bring it to somewhere
Mhm.
sunny, bring it to somewhere hot. I'll fucking stand outside. I don't give a shit. As long as I get my summer fucking vibe feel in, I'm okay. Okay?
Exactly. Fucking boo-hoo. Fucking, you're coming to an outside show. You're gonna get the weather. You know what I mean? I hate when fans complain about
Mm.
weather when it comes to outside shows, man.
Like, shut up, dude. I see so many You don't see these fucking NFL fans that are sitting outside in fucking -5 degrees complaining. You know what they do? They wear a fucking coat.
They wearing their fucking 3 layers of coats and just sitting there watching the show. I wouldn't do that if it's that deep in snow, but hey, they don't complain. They just do that
They're,
shit. And
yeah,
and those crowds don't get that small even when it's super snowy at those shows. So they're actually some dedicated fans.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, I don't know, man. So that's our little rant about exhaust pipe SummerSlam. God, that was fucking awful. Um,
It was so
oh, it was horrible. We get a Judgment Day backstage. Rhea is walking down the hallway as Dominic is following behind her, trying to apologize. Rhea opens the clubhouse door and sees a bunch of black roses and asks Dom, "What the hell is this?" She then slams the door in his face. Damien walks in, grinning and smiling, and kind of trying not to laugh as he says, "Hey Dom, everything good?" Dom says, "I think so, but not really." Priest Rhea opens the door and throws flowers at him and hands him a metal dog, a metal like little dog toy or whatever, or statue type thing. Damien's in the back trying not to fucking break, and then Dominic turns around and sees him trying not to break. So now Dominic's not trying to break, and he's like doing the Jey Uso. He's kind of like rubbing his forehead and trying not to fucking show the camera that he's about to start laughing. And Dom, as he's holding the dog that tried to give Rhea, he says, "I think this may be a little more complicated." As both of these two are trying not to fucking laugh. I love this segment. Damian Priest. You know what? Actually, tonight, even I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Even the segment
bad.
with Gunther wasn't fucking horrible. He didn't make a fucking ass out of himself tonight like he normally does. He actually he
Yeah,
batted 1,000 tonight. He did.
that's good. That's good. He still got cooked, bro. He still was called poor and shit. But
Dude, Gunther
like
had me
he still good.
dying, bro. When I tell you he had me dying, oh, we'll get to it, bro. But it was great.
Uh, we getting Gunther cake, bro. That shit's exactly what we needed, bro. I love it. But
Gunther
yeah,
cake.
that segment was really good. Damian Priest has been good in the backstage segments, man,
Yeah,
and that was no different, man. I like what they're doing here,
100%. Sheamus comes out and
bro.
bro, Sheamus gets a brand new Def Rebel theme song. That is the most generic I'm Irish song you have ever heard in your fucking life. Are you
Oh, bro, it
are
was
you
offbeat
serious?
too. Literally, bro, he hit the entrance. The lights come on, the noise. The lights may come on, and it wasn't until like 5 seconds later till you actually heard the song kick on. I was like, oh my god, and it was ass. It was pure cheeks, bro. Like, why would you give him written in my face for 2 fucking months just to take it away again? I don't. For a new garbage, you already had old theme songs. You could like, dude. You that's the one thing about the WWE sale to Endeavor and TKO thing. Dude, they are so cheap. It's so annoying when it comes to the music product.
It is fucking ridiculous that we gave this guy, written in my face, for 2 months to give him, bro. Are you serious right now? You can't give Drew his song. You can't give Sheamus his song. You fucking damn near wanted to change Orton's song at Survivor. I mean, what are we doing?
I'm so glad Orton had the power to fucking say no to that, dude. Oh
Dude,
my god.
we had
Bro, they were gonna do it.
we had fucking Ricochet coming out to some trash. They took away his song. They took away Gunther's song. They took away I mean damn near everybody's song at this point. They took away Balor's song. They took away fucking Damian Priest's song, even though I think that's a Def Rebel song, his original NXT song. Dude, could you imagine him coming out to that right now? The fucking his NXT. Come on, bro. That would fit his vibe.
It should be fired. That shit would bro. I don't understand what the fuck they're doing with music, man. I Def Rebel, they can't be that, bro. I want to know the cost of one of these songs, bro, because I think that will lie. If these songs cost this company $5 to make, I wouldn't be shocked, bro, because I think me and you can make a better song than Def Rebel could, man. Unless you're Samoan, you do not get a decent theme song, bro.
It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking
Horrid.
joke, man. Absolutely ridiculous, dude. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Bronson Reed also got a new theme song, except it's not really a new theme song. It's the same song with just a different singer, a different rapper. And in my honest opinion, it sounds a little bit better than the old one. The old one kind of sounded like it kind of sounded like the fucking dude that was singing the NXT UK song. This one, the guy's voice is a little deeper, and it definitely comes off a little better. I enjoy it more. I'd probably have to hear it again, but I mean, I thought his song was decent. You know, I thought his song was decent. Yeah, I didn't really think there was I mean, obviously he can have better, but I didn't think it was the worst Def Rebel track I've heard. But man, I mean, dude, dude, again, why? These guys are some of your biggest names. I don't understand why we cannot give them even Logan Paul was trying to license music and they wouldn't let him do it. They wouldn't let him. Like I said, you're taking Sheamus's song. You're taking fucking Drew can't get his song. When Jeff Hardy comes back, what the fuck is it? Are you not going to give him no more words? Are you going to have him come out to fucking Jeff Hardy? Dun, 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 dun. I mean, what the fuck? Why would you give him the song? And I don't know. I mean, is Jeff Hardy's intro gonna be the fucking open to fucking Kiki by 6ix9ine? You know?
That's all good, man.
I mean, come on, bro.
You gotta make it swerve with him, you know? Boogie with the hoodie, bro. Yeah, that could be his theme song, but I guess that would be too much money to cost them, so they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it would be a lot of money.
I need one of these fucking dorks at one of these fucking press conferences to ask what the fuck is this music production and why the fuck are they being so damn cheap? Fucking making more money than you ever have and you're being cheap. The fuck?
Dude, like bank. Like I know damn well you can pay all these people. You can pay all these people for a song. I know, bro, and some of these songs I'm sure they have the rights to. They just don't want to pay royalties.
Like, bro, pay the fucking royalties, bro. Who cares? I don't get it.
It's not like you guys are spending an astronomical amount of money on
You're not fucking making negative for a pay-per-view.
Dude. And bro Tony Khan's got no return, and he's still willing to pay for songs. I mean, what the fuck?
Like, bro spends $700K every. I'm sure we'll hear Final Countdown at All In. I would bet money 100%. On that shit.
100%.
Just spend the money. I don't get it.
I mean, it's a joke, dude. It's a fucking joke. I know you can pay these people royalties and you don't want to for whatever reason. Dude, pay the people. Pay the fucking people, man. I mean, get on with it, dude. So Sheamus comes out to this shit song. Him and Bronson Reed put on a decent match. Bronson missed the moonsault. Sheamus hit him with a bicycle knee. Won the match. I like that he put somebody away with the bicycle knee to, I guess legitimize the move. That was all right. Bronson goes to attack Sheamus, and Pete Dunne comes out for the save. And Sheamus goes to shake his hand. Pete hops out of the ring, and when Sheamus turns his back, Pete jumps back into the ring, knocks down Sheamus, starts attacking him. Then he gets out of the ring, and he does his little shoulder shrug as Bronson goes up on the top for a tsunami and looks menacingly down the hard cam. So I thought this was good, and I like the furthering of the story between, Sheamus and Pete Dunne here.
Exactly. And I'm liking this Pete Dunne we're getting, man. And too bad he'll never get his old great theme song back because nobody does. But I like the direction they're going.
2 fucking months we get the song. Thanks.
Oh.
And he wasn't even on TV for a lot of it because he was running an injury angle with fucking Ludwig.
Like, it doesn't fucking make sense, dude.
Fucking joke, man. Mark Henry is getting a Legends bio. I don't know if this means he's back. I mean, they do. I think they do Legends bios for people that aren't even in the company. But we did see his face on WWE television tonight, I guess, in a commercial. So that's interesting to note.
You definitely did. I think I saw he showed up in like some indie and did something.
I believe
I have
so.
no clue what he did. But it's good nonetheless. That's gonna be a good one.
We got another Judgment Day backstage. There's going to be a lot of these throughout the night. Rhea tells Damien, they're sitting in the clubhouse, and she tells Damien, it's so good to be back. Damien tells her, it's good to have you back. She says she appreciates Damien keeping everyone together, even though he had a lot on his plate and still does. He has a face-to-face with Gunther tonight, and you have a match with Braun Strowman. And she asks him if you need any help. He says, no, I'll be good. He says they're just going to talk about SummerSlam, and then as far as Strowman, that should have been handled a long time ago. She says she respects it, but I have a question. Why is Carlito hanging out in our clubhouse? He says, I got to tell you all about that. And then Dom walks in, so he never gets the chance to tell her. Dom walks in, and he asks for a second with Rhea, and Damien walks away. Dom says, look, Mommy, I know I screwed up, and I've been trying to reach you all week. And Rhea says, all week? What about the last 3 months I've been injured? You haven't talked to me at all. But you were too busy playing around with your little girlfriend. And she walks away. Carlito walks up to Dominic and he says, man, she's really angry, huh? As Dominic just looks at him like, dude, are you fucking serious?
Carlito, bro.
Dude, that man is hilarious, bro. Sammy walks up to Dragunov in the back, and Dragunov tells Sammy, look, I did not help you last week to get a title shot. Sammy cuts him off, and he says, dude, I've been watching you for a very long time. He says, I asked Adam Pearce for this match because you remind me of me. And he tells Dragunov, you better bring your best. Dragunov tells him, you better do the same. Could we please start booking some aura around Dragunov? I mean, I don't like... I know he tries to come off very intense, but in a backstage segment, could we at least have him not talking like he's like holding his breath, like he's not holding his breath when he's not speaking, and then when he finally lets his breath go, he just finally talks, and he just sounds like he's about to blow a fucking lid. I mean, come on, man.
Like, bro, you don't get act worked up 24 fucking even Braun Breaker is backstage. Most of the time he fucking talks like a human.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So calm it down and please just give this man that drive and aura back, bro. Please.
definitely. We get a little Gunther promo in the back. He says, "It was never my dream to be here." Damn. "Because I do not have dreams. But when I got to WWE, that's all I seen. People trying to be the heroes. People trying to be heroes like the people they grew up watching. No originality. Titles were insignificant." Oh boy. Damn.
What were they?
Yeah.
He get real.
Telling me. He says WWE needed to witness true dominance. And after I ran through the NXT UK and NXT divisions, I outgrew NXT. And when I came to SmackDown, I came with the vision that I needed to resurrect one of the greatest championships in our sport, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. And I did just that in just 2 years. And after I was done, I came back to win King of the Ring. Or after I lost the Intercontinental Championship, I came back to win King of the Ring. Just a little hype promo, I guess, building to a little bit later in the night. So very, very good stuff here from Gunther, man. I liked it.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I like what they did here. And I'm intrigued, man. I like what they're. Although, at the end of the day, it's Jack Swagger and Gunther. I like what they did tonight to, get me excited for it.
Absolutely. Sonya Deville defeats Zelina Vega.
No.
Sonya Deville hit Deville's Advocate after
Devil's Advocate. Good Lord.
After help from her dominating faction. They were in the back before this, having a little promo segment, and Deville said, "I don't care about Liv and Rhea, because things in the division go through us now." Really? Because Rhea Ripley just challenged Liv Morgan to a women's world title match for SummerSlam, so I don't think that went through you, but okay, whatever.
No doubt you guys will be on SummerSlam, and if you are, you will be on the pre-show as the pre-show stoppers.
Yeah, if that. Zelina is getting attacked by this formidable trio, this dangerous alliance here of Sonya, Zoe, and Shayna, as she gets attacked by them to be saved by Lyra Valkyria, Katana Chance, or as Michael Cole calls her, Katana Chance.
God damn it, Michael Cole.
Katana Chance.
Man, that's fucking. Yeah, man, the list is just insane, bro. Era, Bally, Katana. Dude, what did he say that fucking time? God damn, it was
Naomi.
Naomi. Oh, fuck. There was another one, dude. It was like a one-time thing where the way he said it was like so stupid, bro. Fuck. Oh, I wish I could remember. But like, dude, the way that man pronounced this shit is fucking great, dude. I love it.
Katana Chance. Oh,
Ugh.
golly.
Michael Cole.
We get another Judgment Day backstage where Damien is walking in the hallway and Dominic comes up to him and he says, "Dude, why didn't you tell me last week about Rhea coming back?" Damien says, "Dude, I tried to tell you, but you were too busy with Liv." He says, "I've been giving you advice, and it's not my fault that you lied to me about communicating with Rhea and ending things with Liv." Jey Uso walks up, and he says, Priest, tell me, is it true? Is it true?" Damien says, "Is what true?" And he says, "Is Rhea Ripley really single and ready to mingle? Because I'm trying to holla." This guy. Damien laughs and says, "Maybe. Yeet." As they're both yeeting together, Dominic says, "Hey, no yeet." Jay then says, "Hey, look, man, if you see mommy, tell her I said, ah." Sticks his tongue out, and he does his little hand wave thing. So, fucking Jay. Damien then told Dom, he says, "Dom, you've been to prison. You cannot let people talk about mommy like that." He tells him, "You got to show Jay who Rhea belongs to." Dominic says, "Yeah, you're right. I'm going to go talk to Pierce." As he walks away, Damien starts fucking laughing at him. That was that.
You
Dude.
know, when you got Priest laughing at you, bro. God damn.
Oh, Lord. They're clowning on him, bro. They are clowning on Dominic so hard. So
they even had Sheamus fucking on him before his match.
Said, "Man, you're in the doghouse," or something like that. Yikes.
He's in the God fucking A.
So we got a Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce backstage as he was talking to Adam Pearce is backstage, and Gable walks up to him. Gable, hold on, golly, my notes went all the way back up to the top, so I gotta find myself. Okay, here we go. Okay, Gable walks up to Adam Pearce, and he says, "Hey Pearce, Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas." As Pearce just kind of looks at him like, "Yeah," and he says,
"Shit,"
and he says, "I know you talked to him last week, and I want to know all the details. I want to know what was discussed." Pearce says, "Look, it was a privileged conversation, and it was a good conversation, and I cannot discuss what we talked about. But he's here tonight if you want to talk to him." And Gable says, "You know what? I'm just gonna handle it by myself, like I always do. I'm gonna call him out." So this would obviously be left for later in the night. But next, the Damian Priest and Gunther face to face. This actually was not the fucking worst thing in the world. And I will stand here every Monday and admit I'm wrong if need be. I was not excited for this. This man Gunther was killing me. I was rolling around my fucking living room floor, dying fucking laughing, hearing Gunther fucking talk to this man. It was hilarious. Damien says, "Dayton, Ohio, all rise for El Campeon." He says he's out here for a match with Braun, but we all know what was advertised, so come on, Gunther, get out here. Gunther comes out, and he says, "Give it up for the World Heavyweight Champion, the guy who carries Raw on his back, the guy who is living out his childhood dream." He says, "And I'm going to be honest with you." I didn't know if this was Gunther talking or me. He says, "I'm going to be honest with you. The assessment I made about your World Heavyweight Championship reign is that you are not living up to it." Wow. Wow.
He is a man of the people. I'll tell you that.
He really is, man. He really is. My man. That's why I love me some Gunther, bro. He says, "Your reign is nothing." No prestige, no contributions. He says, "Look, me and you are not cut from the same cloth, but I come in good spirits, and I want to do you a favor and lift the weight off your shoulders and spare you the embarrassment at SummerSlam. So why don't you just hand me the title right now?" Damien says, "Look, man, I wish it was SummerSlam right now so I could knock that smirk off your face." He says, while Gunther was getting everything handed to him in Europe, I was fighting for my life on the streets for 20 years to become world champion. Damien says, if it isn't Gunther's dream and you're just here for a paycheck, we don't need you here. He says, we know that you're good, but I really don't give a damn because I earned the world title, and Gunther is the last one on earth who is going to take it from him. Gunther says, look, man, I recognize your hardship, and I'm not going to question your street credibility. Damn, Gunther speaking in what was that meme, dude? Gunther speaking in terms of conditions and terms of service.
Damn, he really is.
He's not questioning his street credibility, but he's being honest. But if I'm being honest, being on the street is a choice. And this dude is such a prick, bro.
Such an asshole, dude. I love it.
He tells Damien, don't blame me because your parents didn't think you were worthy of providing a good life. Because my parents provided me with everything because my quality and greatness have been recognized my whole life. And while Priest was fighting for his life, Gunther was getting calls from WWE begging him to sign a contract. And the reason they were doing that was to avoid people like Priest getting their hands on World Heavyweight Championships, because it was him who takes on, it is him, Gunther, who takes on responsibility to restore prestige in honor of their great sport and in honor of the World Heavyweight Championship. He says he doesn't understand why I don't understand why the people don't love you more, says Gunther, because you are just like them. You are just like them. He is and always will be street trash, bro. That dude, I was dying when he called him street trash, bro. Street trash.
Man said, take your poor ass home. It's shit wild. I love it. Fucking
Gunther,
bro said, it's your parents' fault you were poor. Fucking love it.
Bro. Damien says, for somebody that seems to have so much clarity, you have no idea what's coming to you at SummerSlam, and the reason he lost his championship at WrestleMania is because he does not have any heart. He does not know what it's like to fight for everything he has, and he says that the summertime, he says that's summertime. He says that SummerSlam, he's going to remain El Campeón. And for the first time in Gunther's life, he's going to have to fight from the bottom because he'll have absolutely nothing. And maybe after SummerSlam, he will find out that he isn't anything more than a boring, conceited, privileged scumbag, as Gunther gets in his face and these two start shoving each other and fucking pie-facing each other, muffing each other in the face, and then fucking Braun Strowman comes out and completely kills the vibe. So yeah, that was that. But I'm gonna be honest, bro. This was a hell of a lot better than I thought it was going to be, man. Gunther was good, but Damien was actually coming back with, like, not the most cringiest, corny shit that you can ever possibly hear, which is what he normally does.
No, exactly. We didn't hear no fucking everybody's gonna all rise saying shit like that, bro.
Everybody's gonna all rise.
Bro, Throw says some version of that every
week, bro.
And it sucks. And I like what they did here. He talked like a fucking human, like he does backstage. And I like what they did with Priest, man. I'm intrigued. And as for Gunther, man's an absolute menace. Bro said boo-hoo, you were poor. And I cannot wait, dude.
Great stuff. Yeah, and I'll absolutely eat my words every time, man. This was a great segment. I loved it. I thought Damian Priest didn't look absolutely horrible like I anticipated him to, and I was pleasantly surprised, if I'm being honest. However, we got another Adam Pearce backstage where he tells Braun Breaker to not get involved with the match or else he will see himself on the suspension list, and he tells security to make sure Braun gets out of the building. So I guess, well, this didn't really play into Adam Pearce's favor. So I don't know if he's going to suspend him or what. Oh, that's the other thing that could possibly be put on SummerSlam too. Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Which
I
honestly,
forgot that one day. Fucking hell.
which I mean, in all honesty, I could see that being maybe like a triple threat: Breaker, Dragunov, and Braun.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Yeah, they could see it being. I would be down for a triple threat. It's
I would like
Laura
that.
back and Dragunov.
Yeah, no question. So that was that. Damian Priest defeated Braun Strowman with a South of Heaven. And then Gunther came out, and he was still pissed from earlier, from him calling him a boring, conceited, privileged scumbag. Gunther came out. Damian Priest said, "Why don't you just hit me?" This was kind of funny. And, obviously this is the moment where Gunther's not supposed to hit him, and he's just supposed to, kind of pussy out. Nope. This man, Gunther, just fucking straight up chops him in the chest, bro. And then Priest looked at him like, what? And he throws the belt down, and he starts hitting Gunther, and he starts beating his ass, and then Gunther gets up again, and he starts chopping the shit out of him, and then he hit him with a lariat, and then Gunther rolled out of the ring. So yeah, that was that, but... yeah, I mean, we're off to a good start, man. We're off to a good start. This was a hell of a lot better than I originally anticipated it to be, so I'm pleasantly surprised.
Exactly. I'm surprised how it's going, and I actually am really excited, man. I like the start to it, man. I really do.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, man. So, we get a Chad Gable backstage where Gable, he hears Alpha Academy talking about helping somebody. They're saying, we got to help him, man. He's our friend. He goes up and he says, "Hey, guys, I'm calling out Bo tonight. And you know what? I'm calling out Uncle Howdy tonight. And you know what I found out? Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas. But this time, I'm going to have my crew by my side." Maxine told him, actually, we weren't talking about you. And, no duh. Everybody knows Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas. As Gable's just kind of looking at her like, what? Maxine then tells him we were actually talking about him as Xavier Woods comes in, and the Alpha Academy is going to help Woods against the Final Testament. Are you fucking serious?
Fucking shit out everything you made with Otis.
Wait
the
a
fucking worst storyline.
Dude, you put him...
way to capitalize.
Dude, no kidding, bro. I'm sitting here thinking this man Otis could have a shot at taking the fucking IC title off of Chad Gable. He was so over. And this is what you fucking do with him? You put him in this fucking freak show feud with fucking Karrion Kross and the rest of his freaks? I mean, come on, man. What are we doing?
Yeah, it makes no fucking sense. That's such a lame way. Such a momentum killer with Otis, bro. How'd you manage?
Atrocious. What a shit fucking way to go about that. Yeah, horrible. Absolutely horrible. It was that fucking move. Yeah, ridiculous, dude. Absolutely ridiculous. Gable then pissed off, says, he gets pissed off at Otis and says, how can you help him and not me? And then he just kind of walks off. So that was that. Zoe and Shayna defeat Katana and Kaden Carter. I have nothing to say.
Katana. No, except Katana.
We get another Judgment Day backstage where Rhea tells Finn and JD McChicken that she's happy that they got the tag titles back in the Judgment Day. Dominic walks up and he tells Rhea, "Hey, Jay was talking out of line about you, and so I asked Pierce for a match against him." Rhea says, "What are you doing?" And then Dominic says, "Well, I'll go cancel it. I'll go cancel the match." Rhea says, "Oh, so you're some sort of coward now?" Dominic says, "No, I just wanted to show everyone that you belong to me." Rhea says, "Excuse me," and walks away. And she walks away pissed off, and here Carlito comes eating his fucking apple. He walks up to Dominic, and he says, "That's not cool." As Dominic's just looking at him like, dude, would you just shut up? Hilarious, bro. We get the Drew McIntyre and Adam Pearce segment. Pierce says, "Look, Drew, I don't want to waste your time or mine." He says, "I'm just going to cut to the chase." He says, "I think we're on the verge of something special with you." He says he thinks CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre can be very special. And he says he wants the match. The fans want the match. And he says, I know Punk wants the match, but the only question I have for you is, do you want the match? Drew says, I want the match more than anything in the world, and he's being the best, most on-behavior Samaritan you can possibly imagine. He's sitting there with his hands crossed, he's smiling, he's all fucking being nice, and I want this match more than anything in the world. Adam says, okay, so we need to leave the emotion behind, the pettiness and the unprofessional behavior behind. He told Drew, look at me when I'm talking to you, because Drew kind of looked down as he was mentioning the, unprofessional behavior and whatnot. He says, look at me when I'm talking to you. He says, I told you. He says, if you're ready to do this, then I'm more than ready to do business. Drew says, I'm ready to do business, and I understand that Adam. And I understand that you did what you felt you had to do. And last week, I was on my couch watching Punk and Seth, knowing that should have been me in the ring, and that's on me. He says he wants this match more than anything, and it doesn't matter what my opinion is. The only opinion that matters is the WWE Universe, and we need to make this official for them. Drew is just fucking brown-nosing, bro.
Oh, yeah. That man is playing to murder.
Dude.
CM Punk.
Adam Pearce.
He is gonna kill fucking.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, bro. Adam Pearce says, I just need you to do one thing for me. And Drew says, I'll do anything. He says, I'll do anything. Adam calls the two refs in the ring from the post show, and I said, I need you to apologize to them for what you did to them. This is where Drew cracks, man. He says, why would I apologize to them? Adam says, I want you to apologize, and I want you to own what you did to them because they did not deserve what happened to them. Drew says, Pierce, you're being a little unreasonable, and at this point, you're just trying to embarrass me. Pierce says, I'm not being unreasonable. They got hurt, and they had nothing to do with it. Drew then walks up to them, and he says, he slowly puts the mic to his face, and he says, no. He says, why would I apologize to them? These refs consistently screw me over, and all of this happens under your watch, as he points at Pierce. He says, WrestleMania, Clash at the Castle, Money in the Bank, all under his watch. He says that Pierce deserves the elbow more than anybody did, and he should be down on his hands and knees apologizing to him. And Rollins thinks he can just skip the line and get his hands on Punk before I can. He says he would never accept an apology from CM Punk because I just want his head on a spike. And he's tired of everybody screwing over Drew McIntyre. Pierce then says, if you're not going to own it, then I will, because you're still suspended. Drew McIntyre goes to walk up to Pierce, and the refs get in the way. Drew pushes him down, and he gets into Adam Pearce's face. Rollins comes out, him and Drew brawl. He, pushes Rollins, or Rollins gets him out of the ring, and then Drew storms off. Interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting how to do this. I definitely think they're building up to a triple threat, man. And it's SummerSlam.
I can
Or
see it.
some variation of it.
Unless they do Rollins and Punk at SummerSlam. Oh yeah, and that was the other
And
thing.
then
Adam Pearce said in here, Punk is still waiting to be cleared. So that one night in Chicago, when he was coming out to tell everybody his clearance, was bro just gonna say no?
well, I think he is cleared, but I think for TV they're gonna say he's not. But that still doesn't make sense. What was he gonna go out there and say?
Yeah,
He was really about to give a Will Ospreay out there. I'll be good in 3 weeks.
he really was, dude.
I don't know. That moment in AEW did so much irreparable damage. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Very what the fuck was bro about to go out there and say if it wasn't I'm cleared? I felt like that was the whole point of the segment. And like, how did he not announce that first thing back? First thing when he was able to get his hands on a microphone. Be like, hey, Drew kind of beat my ass, but just so he knows I'm cleared. I couldn't tell you then, but I'm cleared. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
Unless they do Punk and Rollins and they save Drew and Punk for Bad Blood. Or, no, because we got Berlin between there, so I honestly don't know, man.
They could do Punk versus Seth. Have Drew do what Punk did to him, and make Punk lose, fuck him over. Then at Berlin we could do the triple threat, and then maybe at Bad Blood we could finally do the McIntyre and Punk match 1-on-1. Maybe.
That I could see. For sure. Yeah, I could see that. So Pat McAfee shows a clip of the Wyatt Six hacking his show and bringing a box with a VHS tape. And immediately we go into the next Wyatt Six tape. It immediately cuts to Eric Rowan sitting in a chair, and Uncle Howdy asks him, how have you been? Simple as that. How have you been? Rowan says, the last few years have been very hard. He says, I used to have a family.
Oh, dude. This one hit, dude. You got to tear up watching.
I'm fucking getting teary-eyed fucking just saying that, dude.
Literally, man.
He says, fucking mustache hair going in my mouth. My bad. He says, we were unstoppable. We were inseparable. And we always had each other's backs. And then one day, the whole world changed. And I lost a brother. The person who believed in me the most, just gone. And it knocked me on my ass. I'm not going to lie. He says in those situations, you get up, you dust yourself off, and you keep moving. And unfortunately, life goes on. And just as I thought everything just as I thought I had everything going again, my other brother, as he starts to cry, oh my God, man.
Man.
He says, my other brother was gone too. He says, I had no more family. No more. I had no more family, no more will. He says he fell down a well that I did not want to get out of. How could I want to get out of it? He says, I felt catatonic and numb to everything, numb to the world. And who is going to miss me? Because I'm just Rowan. Damn.
That was a line, dude. I'm just Rowan. Oh.
It's horrible. It's absolutely fucking horrible, dude. First thing. Why is he not Eric Rowan? Why are we going with Rowan? I thought that was kind of a little odd.
I think he's still technically Eric Rowan.
I hope so.
I
But
think he just said his last name because, that's kind of, what he's known by overall is he's Rowan. I think he's technically Eric Rowan in there.
Yeah. So Uncle Howdy then says, "How does this make you feel?" And he passes him the lamb mask. Rowan says, "It gives me hope. When I was at my lowest, he reached out to me and he pulled me up. And I accepted his hand because he knew, he says, I knew I needed help. I got up and I had a purpose in this life." He says, the mask reminds me of the beacon of hope. He says that we're going to, and then as he's looking at the mask, he says, and this is where he gets devious, he lifts it up and he kind of smiles and he says, "We're going to take our broken hearts and make something beautiful," as the piano plays. And we're having tornado warnings here in Chicago. So in the middle of this promo, my fucking my iPhone alert starts ringing out, and it scared the shit out of me.
Oh, dude, I swear.
And also, we were experiencing power flickering, and honestly, this added to the whole aesthetic of this thing, dude. As this whole promo is going on, the Christmas lights that I just have for lighting, because I just like how they look, the Christmas lights that I have in my living room are flickering. I was like, man, this is pretty badass. Oh yeah, this is pretty fucking cool. It was like I was. Yeah, it was like I was in like my own fucking home theater system going on here. It was pretty dope. I can't lie. However, man, was that fucking awesome. This is what we needed from the Wyatt Six, and I'm glad that they listened, because if they were to just have Bo do the promos, man, and this was great stuff. I love this, man. I really did.
Oh, dude, it was fucking phenomenal, man. I'm so glad we got to see Rowan in his own, like therapy in a way with these kind of sessions, man. I fucking loved it, man. It was heartbreaking, but it was phenomenal at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got to get this, man. Or we got this.
100%. This is great stuff. The next match, Jey Uso versus Dominic. Jay actually came down from the ramp, not from the crowd. Thank God. Man, please don't have him do this every time. Please do. Or like I was saying, bro, please do not have this man come from the crowd every single time. A little played out. Michael Cole is sitting there and he just screams, "Yeet!"
Oh, yeah.
So
fucking
funny,
Michael
bro.
Cole, man. He's got his own foam finger.
Jay was going to hit a splash on Dom, or he was going to hit something on Dom, and Liv, I believe it was a splash, Liv pulls him out of the ring, and he's standing up against the ring apron as he's telling Liv, "What are you doing? Leave me alone." Jay then kicks Dominic onto Liv Morgan, and Liv flips Dom over, and she's on top of him. She is on top of him, and she is groping him. She is groping his face, and she is caressing him, and she is just, golly. And as soon as this gets any further, Rhea comes out, and it looked like Liv lipped, "Oh fuck," as she gets up and she runs into the crowd as Rhea's standing there with Dominic. Rhea's standing there. Dominic is trying to apologize to her. She's trying to apologize to her, and he's trying to apologize to her, and he gets into the ring. He gets hit with a spear, and he gets hit with a splash. Jey Uso wins, as Jay, after the match, is signaling for Rhea Ripley to call him. As he's standing in the ring, he's doing the old Christian to Nick Wayne's mother, "Call me."
Oh, yeah.
As Rhea walks out, as Dominic is chasing behind her. this was decent. Obviously, this played into the story of it much more, and that I can appreciate, man. And yeah, it was good stuff, bro. It was good stuff. So I like I like just the continuous teasing of Dominic getting caressed and fondled by Liv Morgan, and it's obviously ultimately going to lead to just Rhea Ripley, I guess, continuing to get mad at Dom, and then afterwards, there was a Judgment Day backstage where Damian tells Dominic, man, must have been rough to lose in front of Rhea. And he walks off. Rhea walks up to Dominic and said, let's get something straight. I'm not yours. You're mine. It's almost like Rhea Ripley likes kind of seeing Dominic as this little, this guy that just fucking fails. And she likes just seeing him lose, and she likes seeing him down on his fucking luck. And I feel like Dom's eventually gonna get hip to that, and he's gonna think, that Liv is, the better option for him, dating wise, I guess. But yeah, that's what I got from these two back-to-back segments, man, is like Rhea kind of likes keeping him under the thumb a little bit, and I think he's eventually gonna cave to the idea that Liv wants better for him.
No, exactly. I think that's what's going to happen. I think, Rhea's got her chase for the title. Dominic's on his chase for Rhea. But I think it's going to end up with him being more, on Liv Morgan's side overall than Rhea's. And it's going to be really cool to see all this happen.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Chad Gable comes out to call out Uncle Howdy. Chad Gable comes out and he says, because of my intellect, I was able to find out the biggest mystery in WWE. And that is that Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas. I know everybody was thinking it could have been anybody else, but it's Bo Dallas. And the master has cracked the case. And I'm calling Bo out here to settle our problems. Bo Dallas comes out to no theme song. He just walks out there. And as he's walking down the ramp, he gets attacked. And I'm thinking to myself, who the fuck is attacking Bo Dallas? And it is the Creed brothers aligning with Chad Gable to no, and I mean no fucking reaction or hype whatsoever around this at all. Nothing.
God damn it.
Yikes. What the fuck are we doing here? Are we trying to kill another faction here? I mean, have we not... has there not been enough casualties with the Pride, the Final Testament, and all? Do we really want to add Gable and the Creeds to that list? I mean, what the fuck? Putting them in a feud with the Wyatt Six?
Like,
And then
of course, everyone's going to focus on the Wyatt Six. Why would you do this to them?
Exactly. And it's not even that they have to put over the Wyatt Six, because there's really no shame in that, but I mean, no reaction and having it on the most random of Raws? I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
I understand. I think they could have done this better, and although I think it's, like you said, I think it's fine. I think it also kind of makes sense for the gimmick and the character. It's okay for Chad Gable to lose this one with the Wyatt Six thing, but it's still like, what do you think's gonna happen? Obviously, all the focus on character is going to be on the Wyatt Six. Why would you put a new faction against this already big new faction?
Yeah,
it's not going to spell well for their momentum.
Absolutely. I don't understand. I do not understand why. I just genuinely do not understand, man, why tonight. I mean, all the other nights people were anticipating it, and it would have got a better reaction. We do it tonight where their first segment is beating up Bo Dallas and then running away from the Wyatt Six.
They look great. Like, I don't get it.
I don't either. I don't either. And I'm a little scared for the group, in all honesty. And I really hope it doesn't. This group is way too
Oh,
good. This group is way too good to suffer the same fate as Final Testament and Pride. I mean, come on, man. So he's attacked by the Creed brothers, aligning themselves with Chad Gable. They beat the shit out of Bo Dallas. He's laying on the floor, laughing. They beat him up some more. Now he's in the corner laughing, saying, yeah, yeah, yeah. Damn. Gable.
Man,
Yeah,
it is, man.
it really does. Gable then grabs him by his throat and he says, "What are you laughing at?" Gable then, Bo then looks at him and he says, "There you are." And the lights go out and the piano plays and the Wyatt Six come out there. They get on the apron, and I thought this is where we were going to see them in natural lighting and not in dark lighting. And I also thought this was going to be where we seen I thought this was going to be where we seen the them all unmask, unless they're waiting until everybody does their little sit down therapy session. But the Wyatt Six come out there, they get up on the apron, and the Gable is the first to run off, and then the Creed brothers run off, and the Wyatt Six, they grab Bo Dallas as he gets in the middle of the ring, drops down to his knees, and does Bray Wyatt's pose with the Wyatt Six all standing behind him as he is hysterically laughing, as it looks like we are getting closer to a full group unmasking, being that we're seeing Bo Dallas as a normal human being here. And we know now, I mean, everybody already knew, but we know that the guy under the rabbit mask is Eric Rowan, and I hope to soon see the rest of them all unmasked and in the ring in natural lighting and stuff like that. So
Exactly, man. Exactly. It's overall not bad. I really can't wait until it's solidified and that they're all, just themselves and people. And I can't wait for that. I really can't.
100%. 100%, man. And yeah, that was that. Very, very, like I said, very concerned for Gable and the Creeds, just based off everything that, like I said, man, just based off everything we know about, how some of these other factions have suffered some pretty nasty fates over the past couple of years in WWE. Unless your name is the Bloodline, you've suffered a pretty nasty fate. But I hope it's different for them, man. I really do. And in the main event,
So,
yeah, in the main event, Ilya Dragunov versus Sami Zayn. Very, very good main event. Very good main event. Dragunov ended up Dragunov ended up beating Sami Zayn, but via DQ, because Braun Breaker came out and did the little runaround spear. He speared the shit out of Dragunov, thus winning him the match, but not the championship. Him and Sami then brawled for a little bit as Braun then hit the rope. He had to have hit the rope like 5 or 6 times before he speared the ever-living fuck out of Sami Zayn. And Braun stood tall at the end of the match, and Adam Pearce told him, hey, don't get involved in the match unless you want to end up like Drew McIntyre. So I don't know if Braun's going to get suspended. Maybe that's what keeps the IC title match off SummerSlam, but I mean, maybe they do end up giving us a 9-match card with
everybody.
Yeah, with everybody on there. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see. But that was that, as Braun Breaker ends this Monday Night Raw standing above Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov, man. So that was that. That was that, man. And that was your week. That was your week of wrestling, bro. So that was everything we got to go over here today with you guys. And yeah, man. So that is that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good week overall. Dynamite was good. Crazy to see again. And Raw was really good, man. I like what both are building up for their respective pay-per-views upcoming.
100%, man. 100%. So, with that, that is going to do it for this edition of the Notorious Heels podcast, man. This has been another edition of Notorious Unscripted, man. And this has been episode 206 of Unscripted. And with that, that is going to do it for this edition of the Notorious Heels podcast. Another great edition of Unscripted, man. It has been always a pleasure for my Johnny Mayhem.
Nice, okay.
And that is going to do it for this edition of Unscripted. Thank you guys so very much. Whether you guys joined us live, whether you guys are a part of the Replay Mafia, man, thank you guys so very much. Thank you guys. We love you guys. And we will see you all on Friday with the news.
Peace.
I used to get deals on the bitch. Now I throw shields on the dick to stop me from that HIV shit. And niggas know they soft like a Twinkie fillin', playing the villain, prepare for this rap killing. Biggie Smalls is the illest. His style is played out like Arnold and what you talking about, Willis? The thrill is gone, the black Frank White is here to excite, throw dick to dice. Bitches are like I'm brainless, guns are like I'm stainless steel. I want the fucking fortune like the wheel. I squeeze cats till my clips is empty, don't tempt me. You don't want the fuck
Here I am, I'll be damned if this ain't some shit. Time to spread about the lyrics over harmony grip. It's the Mill Killer Death Trap. Yes, I'm a jet black ninja. Coming where you rest at, surrender. Step inside the ring, use the #1 contender. Looking cold booty like your pussy in December. Nigga, stop, bitch.